and welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and I am so glad that you tuned in today. We always want to start our segments by thanking our sponsors, so thank you so much to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges, feel free to reach out to any one of their trained professionals. They are bilingual nationwide and waiting for your call. They could be reached at 631-714-4822. And in studio today is my friend Steve Klein, because it would not be a show if we didn't bring on great loan officers to educate us about not just the market, but about the companies they work for. So how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So I know since the last time you came on, there was a little bit of an acquisition with your company. So give me the long name.
The long name is Home Team Mortgage, powered by Movement Mortgage.
Because you know I was never going to get that out.
That's all right. I got you there.
So, there's been so many changes in the market. And I know that I've been watching loan officers go from one company to the next. And I know that I really enjoy the company that you work for. Sure. But now, since there's been this acquisition, there's even more that's been brought to the table. And it's not just about you or I, but it's about the community. So tell me a little bit about some of the changes since the last time you've been on.
Sure. So the biggest changes, obviously, like we just spoke about, we were acquired by Movement Mortgage. And Movement Mortgage is more than just a mortgage company to me. Kind of, they love to give back. It's about the community. So Movement Mortgage has funded 4 charter schools down south. They want to have 100 within the next decade, and they sincerely mean about giving back to the community. Within the next few weeks, we're rolling out the newest initiative, which is called Impact Lending, or Mortgages That Mean More. And it's really going to be a way to give back to the community that you live in, which is important right now, right? These companies have products, rates, customer service, all of which is important. But if you can give back to the community that you serve, what better way to go about this?
There's a lot of times that we are watching commercials and, I'm thinking about a Subaru, right? You can buy any vehicle, but if you buy a Subaru, their tag is that they give back to a handful of organizations. And again, when the market is where we are and the economy, inflation, job loss, we could do this all day, right?
Yep.
What happens is that when you have the ability to do something where you can make an impact, I think that's important. So tell me a little bit about the Impact program.
So Impact Lending, again, is to serve the community. I come from a background of volunteering, whether it was from coaching sports, volunteering at a local church, and they really want to give back to the community. They want to make sure that person who's buying a home understands that if you're going to buy in a certain area, we want to give back. We want to make sure that we're supporting local businesses. We were supporting the community just to make sure that everybody continues to grow after they buy a property. And
I think what, if I'm understanding correctly, it's not just about, what we're calling the impact, but it's about being philanthropic. Sure. It's taking the time to say to the people that work for your organization, we support you supporting your community in a variety of capacities. So whether it is down at your church, your food pantry, if you're helping out for maybe a special needs community, it's how you're spending your time within that community. Are they giving you guidelines to follow?
So we have guidelines to follow. However, they really want to make it as friendly as possible for the people who are buying, for referral sources, to really try to make an impact and get out there. Movement's been around for a long time. They never really got the message out there. When I started working there, they gave us all this swag to wear, and everything just says Movement. Nothing says Movement Mortgage. And I said, why? Their response was, because we are a movement. We're a mortgage company, but we're a movement. We want to help. We want to get the word out there. We want to be able to serve underprivileged children, building these charter schools. It's just a great way to go about doing business.
When we're talking, let's look at it from the business standpoint right now. Movement Mortgage is doing amazing things to support the communities where they lend. Mm-hmm. How are they internally, again, you may or may not know the answer, are they internally saying for every one transaction that we close, we're going to put X amount of dollars into a fund? How are they utilizing their dollars as a business? Is it percentage? Is it flat amount?
So when we close, mortgages for people, there's a foundation called Movement Foundation that's set up, and basically approximately 49% of the profit goes to this Movement Foundation, which then trickles down to certain charities and communities so they can kind of disperse that, evenly. And for a long time, again, the charter schools right now are down south, but they really want to expand to be in that local community of wherever that person might be.
So in other words, every time somebody closes a mortgage with Movement, there's an underlying benefactor, which is their foundation, that is the recipient of those dollars to help continue to move those things along. Now, when you hear about companies that are philanthropic and there's a business behind it, how important is it for you to continue to share that message? Do you now feel like you have something else, another tool in your tool belt that separates you or helps somebody to identify you compared to another company?
I do. I definitely think so, and they've worked long and hard to get the message out the right way. One of the things that they go over when they tell us about this is that they don't want this to be a movement thing. They understand that this is going to get out. Other companies may do the same thing, and they want that. They want to grow as a company. They want to be the pioneer in doing this, but they also want other companies to get out there and do the same thing to continue to just grow communities and help serve people.
We call it steady and slow. It sounds like the concept has been there for a while, but it is steady and slow to get the messaging out. Now, with this new acquisition, do you now have the ability to write mortgages in other states?
So we are licensed in almost every state. I personally am licensed in New York and Florida, but within the company, there's somebody licensed in any state that the company is licensed in. So it's very easy to just send an email, say, I have somebody who's looking to relocate to the state. And within 5 minutes, you have somebody that you could trust getting back in touch with you to say, yep, I'm ready to help, ready to step in.
Which is nice because, obviously, we reside in New York. I'm trying not to laugh because those of us that decided to stay in New York, but there's a handful of us that would like to leave.
I know it. I hear it every day.
I just came back from Florida last week, so there's a handful of us that would like to get out of here. So in other words, if we have somebody who's listening and they want to have somebody here in New York as their initial point person, they could actually reach out to you. You can gather some data, right,
Sure,
to see
absolutely.
whether or not you can help them.
Absolutely.
And then you have a licensed entity for whatever state. They want to go to Florida, South Carolina, maybe Georgia.
Correct. And when they do that, and I'm in the initial point of contact, we stay in touch the whole time for any questions to keep people comfortable with what they're doing. But everybody that you would refer to within the company is just as professional as the next person.
Now, obviously, when we're speaking with people in the finance industry, it is common and customary for us to build our power teams, our realtors, our attorneys, our title companies. With this new movement, how important is it for you to find your power partners that are there to be as supportive to what the new mission is?
Yeah, I think it's very important. The majority of people that I talked about this with, they love the idea. They want to be a part of it. And why wouldn't you? Again, you're going to serve your local community, whether you're in Nassau County, Suffolk County, you're in the boroughs. Great to give back. People want to be a part of that. They want to be associated with that. It just makes you stand out, from the next person.
If there was something that you can plan, let's just say within the next 45 days to really make a mark on Nassau or Suffolk County where we're located here, what kind of an initiative would you like to see, or what kind of a fundraiser or give back would you like to be part of?
So I would love the opportunity to get a big gathering of people to get this message out. One-on-one is a great way to do it, but if we can blast this out to the masses and have people understand exactly what goes into this and how it's detailed, everybody wins, and again, we're not looking at this from a company standpoint. Yes, we're the pioneer in it, but we want other companies to do this too. We want everybody to give back. We want everybody to grow together.
Which I love. So obviously, why don't you take a minute? How does somebody get in contact with you, and where can they find you? So
the best way is my cell phone, which is 516-946-2600. I work when other people don't, so get in touch with me whenever you need to, and we'll get something going for you. I hear you there. So once again, we are speaking with Steve Klein, and with that, hang tight. We're going to be bringing on our next guest.